Hello friends, this is Dr. Shashi Agarwal. I welcome you all, hoping you all are healthy and safe. Today our topic is quite significant, that is the foreign exchange exposure and risk management, or we could say foreign exchange risk management tools and techniques. Under this video we are going to learn what is the meaning of foreign exchange risk and exposure, and what are the various types of the exposure: transaction exposure, translation exposure, economic exposure. Then how we are going to manage these exposures, and what are the foreign exchange risk management techniques, how we are going to manage the transaction exposure, translation exposure, and the economic exposure. First of all, we will understand what is the meaning of foreign exchange risk. Foreign exchange risk is faced by those organizations who are engaging in the international business. Like I want to import something. I'm importing from US, and here I have to make the payment in US dollar. At the time of executing the contract, the value of the US dollar is I have to pay rupees 70 to get 1 US dollar. Like, but at the time of payment, I have to rupees 7 shell rupees 72 to get $1. So risk is involved in the international business. So risk which is due to the foreign exchange variations. Foreign exchange exposure refers to which a company is affected by the variation, by the changes in the exchange rate, due to which our assets, liability, income, expenses, they are exposed to exchange risk. Foreign exchange risk refer to the chances of incurring the loss. Like I have at the time of executing the contract, then the rate of 1 US dollar was equivalent to rupees 70. But at the time of payment, it was equal to rupees 72. Here I am incurring the loss of rupees 2 per US dollar. Foreign exchange risk refer to the chances of incurring loss or gain due to the changes in the value of the different currency. It could happen in this way also. At the time of executing the contract, the US dollar rate was rupees 70 for 1 US dollar. But at the time of payment, I have to shell rupees 68. Then here I am getting the benefit of rupees 2 per dollar. So foreign exchange risk refer to the chances of incurring the loss or gain due to the change in the value of the different currency. Because when we are engaged in the international business, we have to make the payment in the we have to make the payment in different currency, which is different from our domestic currency. Business firm engaged in international business and investment firm, while making global investment, they're exposed to the exchange risk, because here the risk is due to the variation in the exchange rate, because exchange rate does not stabilize, it is not constant. If there is constant, if it is stable, then we are going to incur no loss, no gain. These firms have to deal with the foreign exchange rates risk, which are subject to variation. Firm may gain or loss due to the variation in the exchange rates. Foreign exchange risk is the risk because domestic currency, like here I am importing the things from the US, I have to make the payment in the dollar. I have to for purchasing the dollar, I have to pay in the domestic currency. Foreign exchange risk is the risk that domestic currency, the value of cash flow denominated in foreign currency, because when I have purchased from the USA, the value of the invoice is denominated in dollar. Here, because I have to pay more or less, that depends upon the variation in the foreign exchange rate, that is the exchange rate of the US dollar. There is no risk if there is no change in the exchange rate. Foreign exchange risk management is an integral part of the management process of any firm that is exposed to the receipt of the payment in foreign currency. The firm must act wisely to take the necessary steps to minimize the exchange risk. The foreign exchange rates, they are subject to change from time to time. Some of the variation, they are unanticipated. We could not anticipate in advance. Firm dealing in import or export has exposure to such exchange risk, which may arise due to the changes in exchange rate. Even if I am exporting something to America, at the time of executing the contract, the US dollar was 70, but at the time of getting the payment, I'm getting the payment at the rate of 68. So here, from dealing in import or export, they have exposure to such exchange risk, which may arise due to the variation in the exchange rate. Foreign exchange exposure is present whenever a firm's transaction or current asset and current liability, they are denominated in terms of currency other than the domestic currency. Because if we are doing the business in India, then there is no involvement of the foreign currency because we are dealing here in rupees, and the rupee value, because that is rupee value, because we have entered the contract in rupee value, we are making the payment in rupee value, so there is no risk. But when we are doing the international business at the international scenario, when we are making the global investment at the international level, then we are going to face the foreign exchange risk. Indian firm enters into contract with American firm to supply goods worth rupees US dollar 6,000. Here the amount is specified. We know we are importing the things worth worth US dollar 6,000. Payment has to be made after 60 days after the delivery. At the time of the delivery, the exchange rate was US dollar 70. 1 US dollar was equivalent to rupees 70, but at the payment time it was 1 US dollar was equal to 73 rupees 12 paisa. So here I have to make the payment, extra payment, because the Indian rupee has been depreciated, devalued. Foreign exchange risk and foreign exchange exposure, they're used interchangeably. Foreign exchange risk refer to the variability of domestic currency, value of the foreign currency, denominated asset or liability. Because earlier I was making the payment of 70 and getting $1. Now I have to make the payment of rupees 73 12 paisa to get $1. But exposure deals with the real changes in the value of the asset or liability or the operating income, which is inflation adjusted. But here in this video, the exposure and risk will be same. The process of managing the financial affair to minimize the bad impact of the fluctuation in exchange rate. It is called foreign exchange exposure management. Under the foreign exchange exposure management, the goal of the financial manager is to minimize this risk. A financial manager has to identify what are the various types of the risk his firm may be exposed as a result of fluctuation in exchange rates if they are doing international business. How this risk could be minimized? So what are the various types of the exposure in the foreign exchange? Transaction exposure, translation exposure, and the economic exposure. First is the transaction exposure. Like we are making the sale and purchase, we are making the payment, we are getting the payment, we are getting some loan and making the repayment, or we are lending to some foreign concern and getting the repayment. So there is in this transaction, the transaction exposure is present. In transaction exposure, there is a time gap between the sale of goods and services and the receipt and payment. During this period, exchange rate may change, and others during this period exchange rate may fluctuate, and we could have the risk due to the exchange rate, which is known as a transaction exposure. Like I have imported goods worth US dollar 6,000. At the time of executing the contract, the rate was US dollar was equivalent to rupees 70, but at the time of payment it was 73.12 paisa. So here I have to make a more payment in case of import. A transaction exposure occur when a value of future transaction, like it was a value of the future transaction, I executed the contract, I received the goods, I made the payment. At the time of executing the contract, it was 6,000 US dollar. That was specified. But the exchange rate was only 1 US dollar was equivalent to 70. A transaction exposure occurs when a value of future transaction, though known with certainty, is denominated in foreign currency. It is not denominated in domestic currency. If it has been denominated in domestic currency, then I will not be facing any risk. Transaction exposure is a part in all foreign currency denominated contractual obligations or transactions. We may have gain, we may have loss out of the various types of the transaction that requires the settlement in the foreign currency. The transaction may relate to cross-border trade in terms of the import, export, borrowing or lending in foreign currency. The actual profit and loss is known at the time of settlement of these transactions. A balance sheet which already contains several items show transaction exposure like debtors when we make credit sales, and that debtor they are receivable in foreign currency. When we make purchase, that payment has to be made in foreign currency. Foreign loans and foreign investment which are denominated in the foreign currency. Like in the case of import, if we are making more payment, then we are having loss. Like in the similar situation in the case of export, at the time of executing the contract, $1 was equivalent to 70. When we are exporting something to other country, like we are exporting the goods to America. Here we are getting the payment in terms of dollar, but that has to be converted in domestic currency. Like at the time of executing the export contract, $1 was equivalent to 70. But at the time of payment, we are getting $1 is equal to 73.12 paisa. So in case of export, we are getting more money. So transaction exposure, due to the variation in the exchange rate, we may have gain or we may have loss. Suppose an Indian import firm purchased goods from the US, invoiced goods from the US 1 million. At the time of invoicing, US dollar exchange rate was $1 is equal to rupees 70, but at the time of payment it was equivalent to rupees 72. So I have to make 2 rupees more per US dollar. So I have to make more payment as compared to at the time of contract. A firm may face exposure in number of transactions which are relating to sale and purchase of goods and services with other countries, repayment of the foreign currency loans and debts, sale of the foreign subsidiaries, repatriation of the profit, royalty by the foreign subsidiaries. So how we are going to manage the transaction exposure? Forward contract, future contract, swaps and option. A forward contract refers to an agreement between two parties to exchange an agreed quantity of an asset for a cash at a certain date in future at a predetermined price specified in that agreement. The promised asset may be currency, commodity or instrument. Like I have imported certain things from the US, and the US dollar at the time of making the contract was 70, but I have a fear, I have a doubt, I have a guess that the US dollar will rise to 75. It may rise to 73, it may rise to 72. So I enter into a forward contract where I am getting the US dollar at the rate of 70 rupees 95 paisa. So here I have entered into a forward contract. At the time of making the payment, I will get the US dollar at the rate of 70 rupees 95 paisa. If the rate is 73, here I am gaining. If the rate is 70.10 paisa, then I am having loss. But due to the forward contract, I am here going to minimize my risk. In a forward contract, a user who promised to buy the specified asset an agreed price. Like here, I have entered into a forward contract. The rate is 70 rupees 95 paisa at a future date. Is said to be long position. Long position is when I am going to purchase at future date. But on the other hand, who promised to sell it in aggregate, like the exporter, if he has having the fear that the dollar may depreciate, so he could enter into a future contract. But on the other hand, who promised to sell at an agreed price at a future date, the person who enters into a selling at an agreed price, that is called the short position. Like we want to purchase, then we enter into a long position. When we want to sell, then it is a short position. Forward market hedge. The basic role in forward market hedge. Hedge means protecting from the risk. That foreign currency payable short position should be hedged by matching the long position, buying in the same currency in the forward. And the receivable position long should be matched with the short position in the same currency in the forward market. Like an Indian firm has a liability of US dollar 3000 payable in 30 days. A enters into a forward contract. He purchases US dollar in 30 days at the rate of 70 rupees 25 paisa. On the 30th day, if the dollar rises to 72, but here he will pay 70.25 to get the US dollar 3000 and he will make the payment to the supplier. In this case, by entering into forward contract, he is going to minimize his loss. Managing the transaction exposure via future. Future basically is a standardized agreement to buy sell at a specified amount of foreign currency future at some future date. It is always traded on exchange rate. Transaction, they are done through the clearing houses. The parties, they do not deal directly between themselves as in the case of forward contract. Future is a standardized contracts in terms of quantity and date. The hedging of the future may not exactly match with transaction exposure in size and maturity as in the case of forward. Future can be used particularly in cases where the forward exchange rate they are not available. Here we are going to manage the transaction exposure via swap. Swap is just, we could say in Hindi, it is the adla badli. We are swapping something with the other thing. Swapping in is agreement between the two parties which is called counterparties. Here two parties involved. These are called the counterparties. They are trading the cash flow over a period of time. They are flexible and useful in many situations. And they could be two types, currency swaps as well as the interest swaps. Interest swaps like the organization borrows capital at a fixed rate and exchange with the other party which has taken the borrowed the capital at a floating rate. It allows a company to borrow capital at fixed rate, exchange its interest and payments with a floating rate. Currency swap I will explain in this slide. Currency swap is an agreement between two parties. It could be direct, it could be through swap dealer. Here we want to swap one currency into another at a specified future date. Suppose there are two parties, one is US firm and the second one is the French firm. US firm has the best capacity to borrow in US dollar and the French firm has the best capacity to borrow in their own currency. US borrow in dollar and French firm borrows in their own currency. But the US firm needs French currency and the French firm needs the US dollar. The two firms borrow at their best currency and then they swap the currency and payment related to them. The US firm will pay the French loan and interest and the French firm ultimately pay the US interest and payment. In this way, both firms will minimize their exchange risk. And then there is currency option. It provides the holder the right. It is not obligation. Okay, you have to purchase it, you have to sell it. There is no obligation like in the case of future and forward. In the option, you are getting the right. You may exercise, you may not exercise. Provide the holder the right but not the obligation to buy or sell a specified amount of foreign currency at a specified rate up to specified period. Call option, here the right is given to buy a specific currency at specific price on a specific maturity date or a specific period of time. Call option is related to right to buy. Put option is related to right to sell. You are not under the obligation to sell. You may exercise the right, you may not exercise. So they are giving you the right but not the obligation to sell a specific currency at a specific price on a specific maturity date or a specific period of time. Translation. Now we are done with the transaction exposure. We have understood what is the meaning of transaction exposure and what are the various techniques through which we could manage the transaction exposure. So what is the translation exposure? Firm have translation exposure when they consolidate their foreign operation. If they are having foreign branches or foreign subsidiaries, then at the time of consolidation, at the time of finalization of account in a domestic currency, they have to consolidate their foreign financial statements uh, with the in their domestic currency. For such consolidation, the foreign currency items get converted into domestic currency, like in Indian firm, which is having branches at China, America. Then at the time of finalization, it has to convert its financial statements into Indian currency and consolidate its account. uh, the changes in the exchange rate can alter the value of the assets and liability, expenses and revenue. And these are the notional gains and losses. And these are also called the accounting exposure and deals with the probability that the firm may suffer a decrease in asset value due to devaluation of the foreign currency. Devaluation means like 1 US dollar is equal to rupees 70. When the Indian currency is devalued, then we have to make a payment of rupees 72. We have to make more payment to get 1 US dollar. Then it is the devaluation of our currency. Translation exposure result from the need to translate foreign currency assets liability into local currency at the time of finalizing the account. ABC Limited, an Indian pharmaceutical company which is having subsidiary at USA, Canada, China, Japan, the financial statement will be stated in the local currency. But when ABC consolidates its financial statement, it have to translate the financial statement of USA branch, Canada branch, Japan branch into Indian currency. The exchange rate at the end of the accounting period may differ from the rate in the beginning of the accounting period. These are the notional gains and loss. Translation risk could lead to what appears to be financial gain or loss. That is not the result of change in asset, but due to the current value of the asset, which is based on exchange rate, and it may fluctuate. So company seeks to hedge the risk as best as possible. It is more translation exposure is more faced by the multinational organization, and it could also affect the companies which produce goods and services which are sold in the foreign market, even if they have no other business dealing with that country. How we are going to measure the translation exposure? There are various methods: current and non-current method, temporal method, current method, monetary and non-monetary method, current asset and non-current method. Current assets are those assets which could be converted into cash within less than 1 year. Current liabilities are those liabilities which have to be paid within less than 1 year. So current asset and current liability, they are translated at the current rate of exchange. Non-current and non-current liability at the past exchange rate which is prevailing at the time when the asset and liabilities they were created. The income items are usually calculated at the prevailing exchange rate, while the depreciating items under the falling under non-current rate at the historic exchange rate. And second method is monetary and non-monetary method. All monetary balance sheet accounts such as cash, account receivable, account payable, market security, they have to be converted into the current exchange rate. The remaining non-monetary balance sheet has including shareholders equity at a past exchange rate when the account was recorded. That work on the philosophy that monetary accounts, they are similar as their value is equivalent to amount of money, the value of which changes with the fluctuation in exchange rate. Here the categorization of the account on the basis of similarity, not on the basis of maturity. Third method is temporal method. Monetary account, it is just similar to monetary and non-monetary. Monetary account, both current and non-current such as receivable, payable and cash are converted at the current exchange rate. The other balance sheet account, if carried out in current, then its current rate is in past. Um, if they are doing now, then it is the current rate. If it is done at the past, then in the past whatever rate was prevailing. Cost of goods sold and depreciation are converted at the historic rate if the balance sheet associated with it are carried at historical cost, otherwise at the current cost. Current rate method, all balance sheet account except of stockholders equity, they are converted at the current exchange rate. The income state items are converted at the existing exchange rate on the date of the which they were recognized. Translation exposure management is also managed through currency swaps, currency options and forward contracts. Settlement between two entities to exchange cash flow denominated for a particular currency for a fixed time frame and swap for predetermined period, and interest is paid during that time span. Earlier I have explained this, so I'm just going to read it. Currency option gives the right to purchase and sell. Forward contract, two entities fix a specific exchange rate for the interchange of two currency for future date. The settlement for the agreed amount of currency is conducted on particular future date, which is predetermined. So what is the difference between the translation and transaction exposure? Transaction exposure impact a foreign exchange transaction flow when we are making purchase or selling. So there is a flow of cash. But in translation exposure, uh, because it is when they're consolidated, so it has impact on the valuation of the asset and liability due to the change in the due to the fluctuation in the exchange rate. For a transaction exposure to arise, parent company does not necessarily need to have a foreign affiliate or subsidiary or a branch, but translation exposure we require the parent company is having subsidiaries or branches in other countries. It can arise when a parent company is consolidating financials of the foreign affiliate or subsidiaries. Here, under transaction exposure, there is the actual inflow and outflow, so we could have realized gains or loss. But under translation, the assets and liabilities, the values altered due to the fluctuation in the exchange rate at the time of consolidation. So it is just notional gain or loss. Transaction exposure arises the moment a company enters into a transaction involving foreign currency and commit to make or receive payment in currency other than domestic currency. Translation exposure occur when the organization is having branches or subsidiaries in other countries. At the time of consolidation, translation exposure or risk is faced. Transaction exposure has an actual cash flow which impact the value of the organization. Translation exposure does not create any cash flow, so the value of the company does not change. And it is a measurement concept, so there is no tax liability. But due to transaction exposure, if we are having gain, then we are subject to tax. If we are having loss, then we have some tax benefit. So the last is the economic exposure, which is also known as the operating exposure, the effect caused on a company's cash flow due to unexpected currency rate fluctuation. And the economic exposure is a long-term in nature. It has a substantial impact on the company's market value. It is considered the most important because it has impact on the valuation of the firm. And it is very difficult to hedge because there are unexpected fluctuations. Multinational companies which is having numerous subsidiaries outside the which are spread in various countries, they are facing economic exposure more. Economic exposure when exchange rate changes, one currency depreciates, like 1 US dollar is 70. On devaluation, our currency becomes 1 US dollar is equal to 72. We have to make a more payment of domestic currency to get 1 US dollar. So here our currency is devalued. Appreciation means when we have to make less payment of domestic currency to get US dollar. Importer of our country would pay more for the current transaction, which is known as a transaction exposure. The other effect of the change in exchange rate would be the goods, because we are using the imported material, then the goods will become more expensive and the customer have to pay more for the same product. And it will also have impact on the future cash flow, and which will affect our sale, our profitability, our income, our competitiveness. In case of currency of the exporter is depreciating, like in case of the exporter, like here 1 US dollar is, earlier it was 70, now it is 72. If he is exporting, then the exporter is going to get the benefit because he is going to get the more value. His goods will become more cheaper and he will make more sales and get more profits in at international scenario. For a firm, the economic value is the present value of the future cash flow. Economic exposure refer to the probability that the change in the foreign exchange rate will affect the value of the firm. So what is the intrinsic value, which is equal to the sum of the present value of the future cash flow discounted at some appropriate rate. So economic exposure basically, so here is the risk, what kind of exchange rate we are going to apply to the future cash flow. Economic exposure is also known as the operating exposure. It is broader, more subjective. It has the impact on the all the aspects of the operation. It also affects the value of the organization. So how we are going to manage? By diversification into different product lines, different currency transactions, changing operating policy, changing financial policy to offset the payable and receivable, getting back-to-back loan and currency swaps to locate, if possible, the re-invoicing center in country where the exchange regulators, they are liberal. Transaction versus translation versus economic exposure. Translation exposure is basically static and historical. It does not have any impact on the changes in the, it does not have any impact on the actual cash inflow and outflow. It does not impact the value of the firm. Transaction exposure and economic exposure, they have impact on the changes in the exchange rate and they involve actual cash flow. Economic and transaction exposure, they are same but different degree. Economic risk is more subjective and transaction risk is more objective. The transaction exposure can result in the exchange related losses and gains that are already realized, and it will have impact on the reported income. And the economic exposure will also affect the other operations. It will have impact on the value of the firm.